Hey guys, back in Las Vegas. Bill Krackomberger, back from Hilton Head and Augusta the week before. Had some great weeks away. Glad to be back in Vegas, though. I don't know, guys. It's one of my things I said to talk about today. Let's open right up with it. John, Randy, people at home, people watching us wherever you're watching us. Living in Vegas compared to other parts of the country, I actually put this on my notes. We are lucky in many ways, and you know what? We really are. I'm tough on this town. I know I am. I've said it before, but when you're away for 2 weeks, and then I was away the week before, when you're away for a couple of weeks, there's a lot of great things in this town that we have. Of course, I'll start right out with quality of food. The quality of the food here is second to none, really. I mean, I only say there's only a couple spots in the country. I'm not talking about gourmet food. You may have better spots, actually, for gourmet food. I don't know. Those LA hot spots, Miami hot spots. I really don't know, but I'm not really a gourmet food guy. I go to Michael's once in a while. I'll go to a nice steakhouse. If you consider Joe's at the Forum Shops, yeah, I guess that's Joe's Stone Crab. I guess that's gourmet food.
Yeah, for sure.
And no, it is, I guess. But see, John, I buy those gift cards they have there twice a year. Joe's has a gift card deal where they give you 25% more. By the way, it's only like my favorite restaurant in town, best steaks in town, in my opinion, one of the top three. So twice a year, they have a deal where you buy every $500 in gift cards, you get an extra $125. So it might not sound like a lot, but if you buy $2,000 worth, you're getting an extra $250. Actually, no, it's 25%. So I'm actually wrong. It's $500. So I buy 2,000 twice a year or 1,000 twice a year because I think it's great. But going back to that though, I love Joe's. I love the place, and I love in general the town. We have really good food. How about the entertainment though? AC/DC, John and Randy, are you guys going this? No, John. I don't think you're an AC/DC guy, right?
Dude, come on.
I know. You've been saying it.
I'm
Randy,
coming with you.
are you in? Randy, you in?
That's tomorrow, Friday night, correct?
Saturday. Are you think you don't know, or I'm going to hit up Al and see if if we can get the box.
Come on. I'm in.
Good. Yeah, I'll be in then.
Yeah, no, you're in. You're in for the freebie, but if you have to pay, maybe not. But that's all right.
I'll put up some money.
No, I know. I'm joking around, but tickets are out of control right now. But I got a guy, Bobby Tickets. I got a guy that gave me tickets to the Eagles for like face value the day of the show. We'll just wait till the day of the show. Ticket prices will drop. They're in Allegiant. I mean, what do they fit there for the stadium? Even if they're blocking out some of the stadium, 45,000. 40,000 people. It's going to be a lot. So anyway, just another reason. So food, tickets, the shows, great entertainment. How about the weather? It's 85 degrees every day here now. This is perfect time to come to Vegas. May and June, September, October, great times to come to Vegas.
Also, I don't know if you.
Go ahead. What else, John? What else you got?
I don't know if you'll agree with this because people are kind of negative on this one, but I see it the opposite. I actually think the people here are fantastic. I really do. I think, of course, there's an element that's not fantastic, but I think for the most part, I think that Vegas takes care of their own. I think Vegas is so like in LA, if you want to go to a fancy restaurant or something, you're not getting a comp dinner from the manager of the restaurant just because he likes you in LA. It's not happening. But in this town, it absolutely happens, and it happens all the time. Or if you're trying to get into a club or something like that, and you know the people and they know you're like a local, I don't mean a famous person. I just mean you're just a local, nice person. I feel that the town is very caters to our own. I really do.
John, local, nice person. In other words, if you have cash, if you're tipping them to get in.
No,
John,
no.
These club guys, these wannabe John Gotti guys at the door. You think they're letting you in and oh yeah, hey, you're a local, come on in. No, John,
for some of them,
cash. They're looking for cash.
Yes,
which I don't mind paying them. I don't mind paying them.
The old $20 handshake goes a long ways in this town.
You're not getting $20 ain't getting you in no club. But
I got another advantage play for Allegiant Stadium.
oh, good. Tell us
If
how to sneak in.
anybody ever Ubers there, do not Uber to Mandalay Bay. Uber to either Luxor or Excalibur, and then walk across. They close down Harmon. You walk across that bridge over to Allegiant. Do it that way. Don't Uber into Allegiant either. And then on the way back, make sure you walk across a bridge and go out Luxor or Excalibur. It'll save you big time, because there's a clip about WrestleMania.
The wrestling. I seen that.
It must have took 3 hours for some of them people to get an Uber to get out of there.
Randy, explain to me then.
Sunday night.
So there's not an Uber closer to Allegiant that drops you off. You have to go to that. I seen the drop off station and the craziness after the wrestling. That's the closest place that Uber will pick you up.
So on the way there, maybe you could Uber into Allegiant quicker, but I wouldn't do it. I would go to Luxor, Excalibur, walk across the street. It's not that big of a deal. That Harmon overpass, probably maybe a half-mile walk or so. And then on the same way, go back either to Luxor or Excalibur and Uber out of there. You'll get out of there so much quicker. Don't go to Mandalay Bay either, because everybody thinks about going to Mandalay Bay.
Well, I seen that the wrestling went over really well. I was away. The wrestling went over really well here in town. That's great for the town. And what was the main event? Like Bruno Sammartino versus Bob Backlund? Who was in there? I don't know who was in the ring there.
It was John Cena, which I don't know if you know him, but he does a lot
of course
commercials now.
He's a very generous guy with his time, and he's a very good guy from what I heard.
And then you'll probably know his dad, Dusty Rhodes, the son.
That's his dad?
Son Cody Rhodes was wrestling John Cena. So John Cena versus real big Cody Rhodes
into wrestling, but Dusty Rhodes had the long blonde hair, like a little countryish, right? Yeah,
big guy with the fancy elbow. He always hit you with the people's elbow or whatever he called it.
I haven't watched wrestling in 40 years, probably 35 years. But when I was a kid, I liked it. You're a 9-year-old kid, 10-year-old kid. I couldn't believe all the people that showed up here that were over 20 years old. Was wow.
They must make a fortune off these belts these guys buy, because they buy these belts and they walk around with these heavy belts, these fans do, and they're like $200-300 a piece. So I can't imagine the money they made. When I was 9 years old, I shook Andre the Giant's hand before a wrestling match in Fargo, North Dakota. So that made me a wrestling fan for life. So,
your hand had to disappear in his.
Definitely. He was so friendly to everybody that came up to him.
Oh, I love. There's a 30 for 30 or something. Maybe it was a documentary. I seen something on him that was fantastic. Documentary on Andre the Giant. I thought it was great. I have actually met. I was in Tampa Bay. I was in Hard Rock, Tampa Bay, and they had an event my brother wanted to go to. My brother was a big wrestling fan when he was a kid. We went and we met. Oh boy, how can I not know these giant? They're the two biggest names: Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
You met Ric Flair. It wasn't Macho. I remember you sent me them photos.
The photos. I have to admit it. I really didn't know who Ric Flair was. I know of him. I know his name. But I guess I don't know if I was, maybe he was in a different division than the New York Madison Square Garden wrestling
Correct.
scene.
He was down south in the Atlanta division, and he was in the NWA down in Atlanta. And then the WWE or F at the time was, of course, Vince McMahon in New York. So it was North versus South there.
Did he eventually go over to Vince McMahon's wrestling team?
Yeah, they eventually went there. In fact, Ric Flair was at the Legacy Club there on a Friday night, or he was there Thursday night. He was in Barry's in the Legacy Club, and I saw Derek on Friday night, and he said they had to finally cut off Ric Flair Friday night because he tries to drink the bar dry when he starts drinking.
He said, by the way, what a nice guy. Yeah. He was so nice, answered questions, good guy. And by the way, Hulk Hogan was too. Hulk was.
Yeah, he is nice. I've met him.
Just a really nice guy. They were really nice. And then there was the guy that was my brother took a photo of one of I didn't know who he was. He had heart. He had hearts on his jacket. He was the manager for those guys or something. Randy
Jimmy
Hart.
Man Hart, little guy.
Yeah, he was a little guy. Yeah, he was a Hart.
Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy
The
Hart. Maybe that's it.
Foundation. Of course,
He was very nice.
he was manager for Brett the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Hart in the tag team, and then the Honky Tonk Man. If you guys
They
remember.
were very nice.
Wow, Randy, you know your stuff, huh?
Yeah, that's good.
I don't follow it that much now, but I know the kids. You know, most of the kids that wrestle now are their dads. Of course, I know their dads when I was watching wrestling.
Yeah,
that was a big event for Vegas, though. Giant event. Giant event for Vegas. Speaking of which, Randy, you got that hat on. Hold on a minute. Look at this. I'm going to give you guys both your choice. Your choice of Masters hats here. So
wow. You are messing around.
3 of the white ones, if you like white. I don't know if you like white. Hold on. I got the old school green with no date on it. I don't understand. It just has the Masters logo. Got a bunch of them. Or I actually got the Masters here with, I think what's the difference? Let me see the difference in these two. Oh, one says Masters, one doesn't. So I'm going to give you your pick there, Randy and John. Oh, wait, does it have the date on it? It does have the date. All right, 2025. So is that the one you're going with, both of you guys?
I got a lot of green ones. Why don't you save me one of those white ones?
All right, you got one of the white ones. John,
they're adjustable on the back? Let me see the back.
Yeah, will you wear? Let you see the back.
I want to see the adjustable.
It is. It's not one of those little hole things. It's It's
clip. One of those. Okay, they're all like that.
People at home are going to
really details I need to know, Bill. Bill, this is incredible TV right here.
Yes, your Bella there, John.
Yes, they both have clips. Yes,
Bill's gonna. Let me see that white one again. That white one is nice.
I have 3 of these, and they have clips too. Same thing. Oh, they have the date too. Wow, I didn't see that. All right.
I kind of think I go white.
All right, I got 3 of them. I think 1, 2, 3. I got 3 of them. All right.
My first choice would be white, unless you have someone that absolutely has to have white.
I only switched them last minute. I said, you know what? Let me get a couple whites in case someone wants one.
Yeah,
but
I like it.
I gotta be blunt. If I can only show you this box of stuff here, I can pull the bags out. Something's wrong with me. No, really. I swear, something is wrong with me. Look at all these shirts.
Bill, you spent $10,000 on merch. No, what did you do?
I spent $2,000 on merchandise.
Did you really though? You spent $2,000.
Yeah, but you want to
just to give it away?
Let me just tell you something. I'll pull any shirt out. Look how reasonable these are. Look how reasonable these were compared to. Here, look at this. Every one of them is the same price, $79. This is a Masters black one, $79. Do you know how much money these same golf shirts the following week at Hilton Head, which is the Heritage? The same golf shirts start at I thought they started at 109. No, they started at 119.
150.
So 50% more for the shirt. What do you want? A Heritage shirt, or do you want a Masters shirt with from the Masters golf? I mean, but anyway, I have to admit it.
Bill, you spent $2,000 to basically give it away.
I'm telling you that
I like this, Bill.
I'm not charging nobody. No, I'm just. Everyone wants a Masters shirt, but I got it for doctors, guys that are good to me. I'm good to them. I got one for Gil Alexander, my co-host. So now I'm going to feel bad. I got to be honest with you. I bought some extra ones, so might have to give you. I got a nice pink one here for you, John, to go with your white hat, and they may have to give you that one. It's funny. So Jeff Schwartz, my co-host on the Fox show, ex-football player. Retired football, big guy. He's like 6'6". He's a big guy, and he's like, I will take if they have a 3XLT in pink. So I'm going up there at the golf shop. I'm going up, and there is a pink one up there, but I'm asking for 3XLT, and no, they didn't have any pink ones in 3XLT. But it just there's certain colors for certain people. So he goes on vacation. I just seen some photos with his wife. He's wearing pink every day. And I guess, big big guys stand out in white or pink. I like to wear
Right.
darker. You know me. I wear either dark blue, black, or I like purple and black too. This is an older shirt. I love wearing this shirt. So much so that I'm nuts. When I seen this shirt, I went and bought 3 of them because I know I'm going to use them throughout time. So I want to make sure they have it. I like black and purple. So anyway, I'm going to give you a line from Casey Kerr from the golf caddy for years. Casey said, Crack, there's different courses for different horses. And that's exactly right. Different courses. So there's different shirts for different people. But anyway, the Masters was great. I already went over that with you guys already and everything that went down there. But I like buying stuff like that. I live for that stuff. Listen, I love to go down there because you can only get that stuff at the Masters Golf Shop. You can't get it anywhere. You can get it on eBay on the secondary markets for about double the price. The Masters hat they want $50 for. Those hats cost $30. That's cheap. If you ask me, that's cheap for a Masters hat. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you can only get them there. Randy's won a couple 100,000 with the one he has on now.
Oh yeah, this has been a lucky hat for me. I've been wearing it out lately too because I've been doing some pretty big plays. So
wow,
I've had it on almost every day.
Randy, isn't that amazing? How I talk about that on the show before. I still have those superstition things too. If something's going right, like I sat in a restaurant last night. I had a baseball game and I was sweating under in a baseball game. First 5 innings. Not that I usually sweat them, but just what I was there. I said, you know what? Let's not move. I played 4 other games real small, and the other 4 games were pretty easy winners. But the bigger bet was sweating a little bit, and this is exactly what happened. I had under 4.5, and it's 2-1 in like the 3rd inning, and it's 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. I got first 5 under 4.5. No 2 outs, nobody on. What happens? Batter gets hit. Next guy gets up. What do you think he does? Deep to right. That's really a good shot. Caught it at the top of the wall. I mean, it's just how do you guys watch this stuff? I mean, only because it was like
what you need when you bet on baseball, don't you, Bill? The old saying, Nick Bogdanovich is famous for this one. You need a whiskey and a revolver.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Crack, going off of getting lucky, if I find a $5 bill while I'm walking home yesterday, I immediately have to gamble that, do I not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's found money. You know what's funny? Now that you said that, you remind me of this scam, the $20 bill scam. So there's a bad scam going on in California. They have these stores called Ralph's there, which is their bigger.
Yeah.
That's like, is that their, John?
It's like Smith's. Bigger?
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like Smith's, Kroger, ShopRite. It's a big store.
Same owner, same company.
Okay. So now I see on this video has in 4 days has like 3 million views. It's people are using a $20 distractor tactic to scam victims. This came out of Fox 11 Los Angeles. So Fox 11 Los Angeles, it's on YouTube. Now I said I gotta watch this because someone told me about it. I said, I got to see this. So here's what happens now. It's been happening in a lot of the Ralph stores. I guess when you go in Ralph's, I'm trying to think, it's like here, they don't really have that in Smith's here. You go, there's an ATM machine right there. That's where it happened here anyway. And the person, okay, time out. I got that wrong. That happened at an ATM machine, according to the story there for somebody else. Okay, it happened in Ralph's where the person in back of them at line, I guess, John, I've never done this. You can charge something to your debit card and ask him for cash back for your pocket.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So I've never done it. Probably Randy's never done it either. So in other words, if you need $20, you ask them, can I get some money back for your card? Yep. I've heard of it, but I didn't think it was
back in the day anymore. You'd write a check and you would do that. Remember, like if your grocery bill was $100 and you go, hey, can I write it for $150 and you give me $50 back?
Give me 50?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I got you. I have heard of that, but again, never did that either. But anyway, so now the guy, the lady is going to pay on her debit card, and she goes to put her PIN in, and the guy behind her says, "Hey, you dropped this $20 bill," and hands her the 20 like she's gonna. And the guy's like, she's like, "No, I didn't have any. I don't think I did." He takes it and tries to put it in her wallet. Now, I see the scam here, but I can be honest with you, I don't think it can happen to us, halfway street smart guys. So she refuses to take it. He then follows her out of the store. Here's what he did. He got in her space and got real close to her as she was putting in her PIN number on the machine. So now he has her PIN number, and all he's trying to do is get her debit card now. So he's trying to switch the 20 for the debit card real fast to get the debit card. Don't you know? He followed her out of the store. This has to be yours. It's nobody else. And he actually got to her wallet and just keep it. I got plenty of money. He goes, this is yours. I feel bad. He got to her wallet and put the 20. He's looking for an old lady, old people, older people, gullible. He got the credit card. He got the debit card out. And the story is that he actually took, I don't know how you could even take that. He took $5,000 from her account, 200, 500,000. Like, I don't know how you could even take that much. I thought people had a hard time getting, $1,000 on those cards. So anyway, the comments, the amount of comments did I make a copy of the comments? How about this? 6,500 comments. I'm like, wait, wow, 6,500 comments in 4 days. I got to read some of these comments. It's actually very common that this happens. I was like, wow, are people that, you have to be more street smart. You have to keep your head on a swivel. And the idea is, and people were saying it did happen at the bank. At Chase Bank, it happened. They got in their space. He took my car. He took my car without me knowing. I got distracted. You know what? I got to tell you, we have to put in order to deposit a check. If you get a check, any kind of banking transaction, you have to put a PIN number in. It's not like years ago you brought your check and you put your account number on the back of the check and give it to the lady and she puts it in your account. No,
right.
You have to put a PIN number in. Slide your debit card. Put your PIN number in to deposit your own money. That's the way it is now. It's not like it was years ago. So if you're going to one of the machines, not so much the counter, if you're going to one of those machines, debit card machine, ATMs, I guess people can get in your space. I don't even watch for that. When I do banking, someone sends me a check. I get paid by check, by the way, from a big company. So when I get that check every month, I go to the bank and put it in, and I don't even really think anyone could be watching me or looking at me with binoculars. There's a story in there. The guy's at binoculars looking at everyone's PIN numbers. All you need is their card now. So, and there's ways to get the card. This $20 tip trick. I mean, have you guys heard anything like this? Either one of you guys?
No.
No, I've never heard of that one. That's new for me.
It's brand new, and it's a when you give someone $20, they're like, oh wow, thank you. I must have dropped it, but this particular one at the counter is like
save somebody here if somebody's watching.
Randy, you hit it on the head. Listen, that's all it's about. Listen, millions of people seeing it already, but if we could keep one person from maybe not even getting taken, make sure no one knows your PIN number. That would be great. If someone just keep your head on the swivel, watch yourself, stay close to the pin pad. Also, Randy, go ahead.
Keep your fingertips on a swivel, so to speak, meaning there's a lot of scam text messages and emails. Do you get them? God. Where it'll say like, hey, we successfully charged your card. $270. If this wasn't you, click here. But you think it's from your bank, but it's not from your bank. And when you click, that's when they get you.
How about the emails? I mean, I'm not the email. How about the phone calls? The text on your phone. Hey, hey, I heard you're in town. Or hey, you're back in town, or something like. It just happened to me the other day. Like some of the wording on it, and now I'm seeing full names too. Like I had to go back and list and say, do I know that person? How'd their full name come up there? First and last name. But I was saying, Randy, what you don't know is John and I had Oz Perlman on the show, and this is before he took off. Now he was in one of the locker rooms. Now he's been in every locker room. He's been with the Packers, the Patriots. I seen him messing with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets last year. Oz really took off. So Oz, if I say, is it Oz Perlman?
Oz. Yeah.
So what he did was he came on here and successfully guessed my bank PIN number.
Oh, wow.
That was crazy.
I watched that episode. So
I don't even use I don't use the ATM. My card's not even signed.
But
he got it. And it wasn't a common number either. So that was like weird how he got that. I went
Yeah.
down the next day and changed it. But you just think about, I thought about him immediately. Imagine someone like O's, or who's the hand trick specialist on the strip. He's great. Shim Lim. Imagine Shim Lim.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
In a poker game or something with you. These guys,
Yeah.
and that's funny because poker guys. So we're gonna probably get some of them upset, but they're the ones I want to get upset. Screw them. The poker guys that are cheating in the games. You want to know they're cheating. Everyone thinks, oh, nice. It's a nice house game. We got a nice deck of cards. They get a brand new, and they unroll the seal. I mean, you know how easy it is to reseal, repackage cards. And there's so much cheating going on in private games that it crossed over to the casino games even. They got coolers in casino decks sometimes. There's a lot of shit going on in the poker game. I'm not even talking about, I had a guy, all three of us know this guy. Please don't say his name. Old timer. He showed me this dab you put in your eye, the dab on the card, the dab you put on the card, and this lens you put in your eye to contact. And I was like, wow, I cannot believe how easy it is. He just dabbing a certain part of the card where the aces are and I was like, holy shit, that's unbelievable. And then you have, of course, the thing with Phil Ivey, when Phil Ivey was what was that called? Sequencing?
Edge shorting.
Edge shorting.
What is that?
But it can't, listen, the card company, I don't know if it was Chem or the card company itself put out cards that were cut a certain way and with markings of the certain cards and numbers. And, it's not our fault that you guys did something wrong and we discovered something before you did. So I know people are on both sides of this. People come after me for sticking up for Joe Public and even the Phil Ivey thing, not knowing the full story behind things there. But yeah, listen, we don't really throw under the bus. How about these casinos in Puerto Rico and stuff that took tens out of the deck? Simple, just tens. Jacks, queens, kings, aces. They kept all them in, took the tens out of the deck, and we're dealing cards. And that's a giant house edge for the house. Definitely. Give me put a couple extra fives in the deck and see how you guys do. That's what I want.
Wait, they took the tens out?
They took the tens out of the deck. The tens. It's a way of cheating because the house, it's not enough being a 1.5% hold on a shoe game. They want to make it so they're cheating. And let me just tell you something. This is really a strong thing to say. We all have a friend. We all know this person too. It's an old timer in town, total different guy. He said, Bill, when I first came to this town in the 60s, they were all cheating the casinos. They were all cheating, no matter what. Even no matter what they say, they were cheating. So just think about that. There's so much cheating that went on. Never mind the road games, the after-hour joints, there was cheating going on everywhere in every form in this town where they were cheating against you. So my heart does not go out for any casinos saying when they got, if you want to even call it, cheating's too strong of a word, to be honest with you. But Randy and John, both, you guys play a little bit of poker, especially John. Do you really think cheating doesn't go on in poker games?
Honestly, I hear more and more about it this last couple years, and it's something that never even entered my mind until this last few years. Like, it just seemed unthinkable to me. But I know a lot of players have been accused of it, especially online. Online, I get the collusion stuff that can happen. Could be crazy.
I'm talking about
but in the actual casino,
yeah. Well, maybe not casinos as much, but it has happened.
So I used to watch a lot of movies growing up, a lot of old gambling Western movies. In fact, what got me into gambling was Kenny Rogers, the movie, and there was cheating on that movie as well. There's a lot of card cheats in those old bars and everything because, you dealt your own deck, so you could set up your own deck, basically. So, I always realized there's a lot of cheating, and then I started playing a lot of online poker, and one of the biggest cheating scandals was at AP and at I can't remember the other one, but the Russ Hamilton
who won the World Series of Poker, yeah.
ultimate bet. He was able to see the guy. He was playing guys heads up for huge stakes and just taking them, but he was able to see the other person's whole cards. So,
Everyone, even in big ring games, he won millions and maybe tens of millions. He stole all the money, and he when he's seen now, it's an embarrassment. But if people yell at him a little bit, he just runs away, and he's got all the money still. So, that's just. And I can imagine years ago.
He lives a Spanish Trail too. I think he lives a Spanish Trail.
You imagine if Tony Spilatro or one of these guys were Herbie Blitzstein. These guys were around town now. What they would do to him, they wouldn't even be able to find his DNA 100 yards down the road from Caesars. Yeah.
Bill, I played in a private game in Beverly Hills once. Only one time did I play in this game. It was $1,000 buy-in cash game, minimum buy-in. And so I bought in for the minimum. It was in an office building. It was real nice. I only knew one guy that invited me. And maybe in the first hour, after about an hour, I get dealt 8-9 of spades. We end up three people seeing the flop, and the flop comes 10 Jack Queen of spades. I flop a straight flush.
You can't lose this hand.
Bill, so I told this story to a friend when it happened, and my friend told me, dude, they set you up. They robbed you. Okay?
Ace, king of spades.
The turn was ace of hearts, river, ace of diamonds. We ended up all in on the flop, right? I flopped the straight flush. Another guy started the hand with pocket aces, and another guy has ace king of spades.
Well, that's even worse than I thought.
This one of a kind gets beat, straight flush gets beat, and obviously this other guy flopped a royal. There's no way. There's no way, right? But I was really new to poker at the time, so I just didn't know any better. Like I was so new. Like I knew it was a horrible beat.
Were you also new to the earth? I mean, okay.
Well, I just couldn't like. How did they do it? I saw the guy shuffle the cards right in front of me. So
that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, they got you. John,
they got two of us.
Okay. That was like the movie, The Ending Maverick. If you guys have ever seen that movie.
Right.
That's got exactly how that happened.
No, but that's too obvious, though. Come on. These guys were actually amateur cheaters, if that can be, to make it set up like that. First of all, it's all in before the flop. I don't know. Sometimes the 8-9
No, we were all in on the flop, not before the flop. Yeah. But once the flop hit, pocket aces went all in because he's trying to prevent the flush from hitting, right?
Yeah.
Royal flush snap called, and I flopped a straight flush. I can't wait to get it in.
And you couldn't wait to go in your pocket and reach out for the next 1,000.
No, I left. I was so angry. Well, I had no more money at the time. I was so mad. I couldn't believe it. But cheating even then, I don't know, man. It didn't pop into my head until I told my buddy, and he was like, "Dude, are you an idiot? Like they set you up." 100%, right?
Talking about definitely right. I don't want to embarrass you anymore, so I want to drop it.
This is like in 05, 2005
talking about
or something.
The local games are the after-hour joints. Before these casinos opened up and started busting every living human, that you used to play a game on Thursday night was Joe's house, Friday night was this club, this was Italian American, this night that whatever, different clubs. The money stayed in the neighborhood. Now, I heard someone say this on a podcast this week. Someone said on a podcast, he was so right. Who was that? Someone said it on a podcast this week. He's like, the money used to stay in the neighborhood in the 70s in Atlantic City. He was so right before AC opened and the casinos opened and even the clubs in California, the card rooms, and now there's casinos within a couple hours of everyone. Here's what happens at those local games. Even the after-hour joints that used to have the craps and the blackjack, and they called it casino nights where some money went to the church or whatever. Listen, here's what happens. That money that's won that night, there's not another game another night, the next night or the next night. What happens? People are in the moment. They just won $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, $3,000, $1,000, whatever. They take it to the casino. In the end, the casinos get all the money. This guy was right. I thought of it. I said, you know what? He's so right. I got to talk about that on the show. The casinos get all the money now, unlike years ago when they had ring games to play in different games in the local neighborhood. We want to talk about this bet. I just talked to one of the guys from the site, and Robert's going to put this up here. This is amazing what happened here with this WagerWire ticket, and how this guy bet one of these parlays where over a 2-night period, and he only needed one more. Robert, put that up there for us.
Yep, it's up.
He only needed one more of the two. I'm going to look at it up close, actually, guys. But yeah, so he only needed one more leg of the two here. Hold on, I'm going back in our thing here to find this. Yeah. Oh my God, did he have 14? This wackadoo? I shouldn't say wackadoo, but like, it's amazing people play these things. Holy moly! All he needed. So the Vegas Golden Knights -1.5. I don't want to tell you how lucky he got on that game, because Minnesota Wild that night, there was 1 second left, and from the other goal, a guy just hit an empty net goal across the ice. Look how lucky this guy got.
Cannot happen. Would not happen.
100.
We had the other side.
We had the other side, +1.5. To win $153,000, by the way. This guy bet to win $153,000. He used a bonus wager. So all he needed was Florida Panthers -102 to win his $150,000. Let's just round it down. $150,000. So I so much seen this only sell for $22.5 that I had to get the guys from WagerWire on the phone. Hey, listen, something doesn't seem right here. Something's not kosher. You're telling me that 50% of this was $22.5, where I know it's worth so much more. Why wouldn't the guy just scalp a little bit higher to lock up a bigger profit? And the guy from WagerWire told me the right. He goes, Bill, one, he doesn't have anywhere to bet that kind of money. Two, he doesn't have that kind of money to bet. So I get it a little bit more now. And he's like, well, I don't want all you wise guys in the WagerWire marketplace, but there's some real value and some bargains in there. And it's funny. I noticed the guy that bought the ticket. I think he's being a little cute. I just followed him on Twitter. But the guy that bought the ticket was the same guy that was involved the week before, or let's call it the month before, with PropSwap, where he had a little bit of a beef with PropSwap. In the end, PropSwap wind up paying him after going back and forth. So this guy is no dummy, obviously, this guy. So I'm going to have to pay more attention to him. I just followed him. I just followed him on Twitter. 15-leg parlay containing a mix of NBA, NHL, money line, puck lines, totals. $25 bonus bet. This is a bonus bet. $25 to win $153,000. Original odds of 6,146 to 1. And the current value was $76,000. The guy bought half of the ticket for $22,000. So I just thought it was a really good buy for that person. Obviously, it actually won, but he could have actually made a bigger profit anyway. There's money to be made with WagerWire, guys. WagerWire.com or WagerWire app. Pretty cool. Did you take a peek at that, Randy? At that 15-teamer?
Yeah, pretty incredible hit there. And
that's an incredible hit. But I just found it really cool how these things were available and I worked out a little bit of the math without going a little bit too much, because even the guy from WagerWire is like, crap, we don't want all your wise guys in there. But he was being funny, but he's being serious probably too. But listen, this is a bigger one. There's smaller ones, though, that are very affordable for everyone. Just look at the value of what it'll cost for that last leg. As long as you have the outs and the money to be able to, scalp and earn off that original thing. Now, you know me. I'm not a fan of betting these parlays anyway. But a $25 bonus bet, let me tell you, when I get a bonus bet from one of the sports books, I personally like to use that on something that has a big return, ROI,
right.
Getting it back like 2 to 1, 3 to 1, or even higher. So I found this pretty interesting.
Swing for the fences. Why not, right? Swing for the fences.
There's more to it than that. That is part of the thing. You're right, John. Swing for the fences is right. It's free money. But I just thought that was a really cool thing. And guys, so that's our that's WagerWire. Something I noticed when I was down there, I was having breakfast. I might have told you guys this already. If I have ADD, and I apologize to the people at home. When I was sitting with Casey Couric, It's called the Waffle House. There's a lot of them all throughout the South.
Of course, iconic.
How do you know them? You were there?
I spent a lot of time in Atlanta with Chris Benson, and Waffle House is like a big thing. Yeah.
Okay. So when John's been on the land multiple times, I just didn't know where he was. But anyway, okay. So when he was down in Atlanta, so I'm down in Hilton Head, and no, that was Augusta. I was in Augusta, and on the highway there, Greenwood or Glenwood Avenue, or Washington Avenue. There's a whole bunch of waffle. I went to a Waffle House across from the place I was staying, and it's funny. I'm listening to people that are sitting all across from us, and we're at the counter, me and Casey, and I'm listening to them talking about their gambling and how much money they're betting, and I was thinking, wow, it's not even legal to gamble in Georgia or South Carolina. Like, they don't have the legal apps that they have. But I had to ask them. I said, buddy, guys, where are you guys from? I love your gambling talk. They were from Georgia. I was like, wow, there's gambling. I just was nice to them. And I said, I hear what you got there. And the one guy had McElroy. It's funny. He wound up winning. This is on Thursday night. And I said, yeah, good luck, man. I hope McElroy comes back for you. And the other guys were talking about some other golfers. And I wanted to see where they were from. I was being nosy. They had a big right to tell me, not my business. But anyway, it just goes to show me, show everybody what we already knew. The gambling outreach across state lines that doesn't even have it legalized is amazing. Imagine what's going on in the legalized states that have all this gambling. These guys were firing down on golf and everything else, and they don't even respect the juice, the value, that they just want action. This gambling thing, it has caught on in such a big way from when I lived back east, and you didn't want to be known as a gambler. Even when I first started out professional gambling 30 years ago, my mother and father, Billy, you don't want to tell people, no, please, oh my God, you're going on a radio show about gambling. It's taken off, and just to see it in the legal jurisdictions, and of course now the illegal jurisdictions. Like I say, every college in America has a gambling problem. This group of kids, and they were kids in their early 20s. I don't know if they were 21, but they were firing down on golf, and I just started shaking my head. It's like, wow, it's amazing what's happening in this gambling space. You guys have to agree.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, no, gambling's everywhere. I mean, even when I was growing up, there was plenty of, card games in every town, and most of the time the cops are in the game, or even some of the justices of the peace are in the game as well. So, yeah, it was pretty easy to be able to gamble, not on everything, unfortunately, but now with the more accessibility and people can get, different accounts, they can get down some bets.
Yeah. Hey, John, someone sent me a link to something on Instagram, and when I was on there, I was watching this person give out strategy at social media on this, how he plays blackjack, and he doesn't bust. He goes, I won't bust. I'm not.
You saw my
16,
comment.
16. And then I seen Jon Orlando's comments, and you're going back and forth with them. And, to be honest with you, I wanted to jump in so bad, but it's so hard to, because let's just face it. A lot of these people, you don't want to call them idiots because maybe they just don't know. They're uninformed. I want to teach them. No, this guy was an idiot. This guy was just, he's saying that he won 5 times in a row, not busting. So if I have 16 versus 10 or even 15, he says, I'm not busting. Better yet, how about this? If he has 12 versus 10, he's not hitting. That's an idiot. Insane. I'm sorry. So now I go in the comments, because I was like, am I the only one? And Jon Orlando's in there and saying how bad it is. Not good for you. I was like, wow, I taught John well. But that guy was unbelievable, wasn't he, John? So then there's crazy. Multiple videos on this stuff. I went to YouTube and put in a search. I can't believe the gambling advice that's out there. I think we're too close to the sun, like my buddy Gil and I say on our VSiN show. I must be too close to the sun and just think, doesn't everybody know? No, of course not. They don't know. They're playing 6-5. You can't get a seat at the table. They don't realize that's 3-2. If they all demanded 3-2, there'd be no one at the 6-5. They're playing. I have videos on my phone. I taped the whole at Resorts World a 000 roulette couldn't get a spot at. Right next to it was a 000 roulette. But one
It's
person.
crazy, right?
Wow.
Let me ask you this. Thanks for that. I like that you saw my comment. Now, there's another thread. Vegas Matt posted the other day. He was playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em. He starts off the video and he goes, $3,000 on one hand of Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And so he plays, he ends up winning $1,000 or whatever. And the people in the comments were like, come on, Matt, you're better than that. There's such a disadvantage playing that game. They're going off. And I made a comment and I just said, I said something like, that's a fun game. You can really come up big in that game. Now, I understand that it's not, it's not like playing blackjack. You're at a complete disadvantage playing that. My only point was, yes, if you get lucky, you can come up big. I wasn't talking about what's the house advantage compared to the player, compared to other games. And these people started attacking me like, oh, you're an idiot, da da da. And I was saying, look, he's just making a video. He's gambling. Like there's also nothing wrong with just, you know what? I'm going to take $3,000 and fire away and have fun. If you got the money to do it, go have fun. It's okay.
Well, let me say one. One, the commenters aren't usually that smart, so I give them credit for that.
Right.
Two, Vegas Matt never says he's a winning gambler, so that's another.
Right.
Three, more importantly, it's one hand. It's a 5% game or something. It's one hand. He's taking a shot at one hand. So the people in the comments, listen, it's going to listen. I just had some words with people in our comments, and you know what? I realize why people don't comment or don't read the comments on the shows. I just try to get back to everyone. I think it's nice. They're nice enough to watch us. Yeah. I feel obligated to get back to people and appreciate them. But there's some people on here that watch every week but don't like me and probably you. There's definitely people that don't like you. But no, there is. But yet they watch every. No, they're sick humans. They watch every week though. They can't get enough. They watch every week. They can't wait to say something. But so I got to stop doing. I may just stop. I hate to penalize the good people. Guys, heritagesports.eu, been around 30 years. 50% free play bonus right now on your reload. Bitcoin insurance. Baseball's back. 10-cent lines. Oh man, being back in Vegas, seeing these lines really pissed me off. No 10-cent lines. So they have 10-cent lines on their baseball, throughway lines, real lines. Thank God. They also have a 8% cash back on other type of bonuses. NBA and they have the reload bonus. Like I said, reload bonus is excellent. That's if you reload. Not even they have 100% free play sign up bonus. So the sign up bonus, the reload bonus, a sports book that's been around for years, fantastic sports book. Wanted to give them a shout out before I get on to my last subjects here. But anyway, it's interesting about the comments. Interesting about John. And when I seen him there, I thought it was pretty cool. When I seen him on the comments, like, wow, John's reporting back a little bit. When I was away, it was the 1-year anniversary of Howie Schwab, my buddy from ESPN, that I stayed at his house every year. By the way, he's been on our show a couple times with John.
Yes, and great guy.
And not only that, how about this? I got Howie backstage to go see Tony Orlando in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, and he was so overwhelmed. He was in a wheelchair. He was friendly. He said that your dad was so loving and friendly and warm to him, and it was a great point in his life. He took his girlfriend, and I think they might have just got married. He took his wife, and I think his wife's friends, and they loved it. And your dad got him backstage, and it was just a big thing. And of course, I went after ESPN because Howie didn't like ESPN for what they did to him after 26 years, the way they let him go. And it's that ESPN company who they put out a nice thing after he died. Our esteemed former colleague, we feel bad. Take a fucking walk in plain English, ESPN. And I don't care. People say to me, "Oh, Bill, are you crazy? You're going to ruin any ESPN opportunity you may have." Please keep it. Thank God I'm in a position in life where I don't have to worry about going after anybody or any source or speaking up for anyone, or if someone sends me something, I can go back and forth and try to help them get their money back from a sports ESPN bet, scared to death to take bets. I don't care if they're not going to sponsor me, or if an opportunity comes up and they say, "Hey, that Bill Krackomberger, be careful with him because he went after us." Good. I don't want to do your freaking show. Good. Fantastic. Keep the money. But anyway,
Bill, you forgot It's ESPN. It's ESPN no bet.
No bet. That's right. Yeah.
And also to add to Howie, Mike Patrick just passed away yesterday too.
Yeah, I seen that.
And I met him at the World Series of Poker one time. Couldn't be more nicer. So,
Man,
a couple legends there.
Yeah, no, they're good guys. I seen that, and I was just like, wow. I seen, it was the 1 year, and I spent a lot of good time, having fun times with Howie, and we just had a lot of good times together. I went every year to his house. We did shows. I did shows from his house. He's been on this show before, I miss him because I really don't have a lot of good friends. So I really miss Howie, and I still think about the good times. I have a video on my phone that it was during college basketball season, and I went back and forth. No, it might have been college football season. I went back and forth with all those schools that I had no idea where they were. Like Incarnate Word. Are they from Texas now? Do you know where they're
San Antonio, Texas.
No clue.
So now, but yeah, I didn't have a clue, but Howie knew. And he came up with every one of these obscure schools that no one would even know. But that was one of them, I remember. But so I came up with them. I found that video. Let me put that back out there because I want to give a little bit of a shout out to my man Howie. He'll never be forgot. Every year on his anniversary of his death, as long as I'm alive, I will go after ESPN for what they did to Howie and many others.
I love it.
Yeah, I will.
Love it.
So, and the way they are now, I wouldn't even watch ESPN now. I couldn't even. You can't even watch this stuff on there. Some of the shows, I'm like, are you kidding me? Where did they get these people
from? And now
the
UFC is leaving them, so I'll never be watching.
Boxing's leaving because they got caught cheating. What's his name's company? Bob Arum's company got caught doing some stuff. They're going off there too. So I really don't care about them anyway. They're one of the those Disney companies, boy. No, I'm not going to say no much more. I'm done. I have a sore throat here yelling at them. But anyway, all right, guys, we'll see you next week on Wise Kracks. Thanks for watching.